G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, I'm about to show you a video from the Australian Federal Parliament on Monday, the 18th of March 2024, where Palestinian protesters gate-crashed a question that the Federal Attorney-General Mark Dreyfus was trying to answer. But just so you understand the background to it, Mark Dreyfus was trying to answer a Dorothy Dixer, which means it's a question coming from his own side of Parliament, the Labor Party. And it's a set-up question where they pre-warn the Attorney-General what they're going to ask, and he pushes out a whole lot of propaganda. In this particular question, it's about the AATT, which is the Administrative Appeals Tribunal, where the federal government, in effect, have closed it down. In effect, they're rebuilding it, and the reason for doing that is they claim that the previous government stacked it with Liberal Party cronies. Well, I wrote an article a few weeks ago, and I'll put a link to that article below this video, which points out the federal government, the current federal government, were trying to stack the AAT with their own crony. The bottom line to this video is that we got the choice of listening to the propaganda of the government, telling us how great they are and how bad the opposition are, which is a total lie when you look into it, because like I said, I wrote an article about it a few weeks ago, and I'll put a link to that article below this video. Or we got the option of listening to the protesters who are protesting about a current issue, a relevant issue, or at least relevant to some people. But the old media didn't give it much attention, if any attention at all. I think protesters who are protesting a legitimate issue adds more to democracy than listening to a government push out propaganda answering a Dorothy Dixer question. So let's listen to it.
Call to the honourable member for Bean.
Thanks, Speaker. My question is to the Attorney-General.
Order. Order. Member Bean. The member Bean will continue with his question.
How will the Albanese Labor government's Administrative Review Tribunal bills clean up the mess left by the former government?
Give the call to the Attorney-General. Attorney-General has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I do thank the member for Bean for his question. And yes, the stacking of the Administrative Appeals Tribunal under the former government was a sight to behold. As many as 85 former Liberal MPs, failed Liberal candidates, former Liberal staffers and other close associates of the Liberal Party were piled into plum jobs with the AAT without any merit-based selection process on salaries worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. They did it again and again, including on the eve of the last election. Decisions of the AAT have life-changing impacts for thousands of Australians, from people with a disability seeking support through the NDIS to vulnerable families trying to get the right social security payments. Australians count on the AAT to get a fair hearing. But the Liberal Party didn't care. The stacking of the AAT by the Liberal Party was shameless. It just went higher and higher. Like the world's most perilous game of Jenga, stack after stack, and it resulted in a tribunal that was entirely dysfunctional. And I hope you heard the earlier part of my answer. The backlogs out of control, people waiting months or even years for review of a basic AAT decision. Just like a game of Jenga, it all came tumbling down. Well, the Albanese government does care about Australians who are struggling. We do care about their rights to a fair and independent process and to have a system they can trust. We wasted no time on coming into office to start fixing the mess that those opposite left. The legislation that I introduced last year, in December last year, developed in consultation with people who use the system every day, would abolish the AAT and replace it with a new administrative review body that is user-focused, efficient, accessible, independent and fair. The legislation requires that members of the tribunal be appointed through a competitive, publicly advertised, merit-based process Our commitment to this is already on display, with more than 100 new appointments made already through our merit-based process. The Administrative Review Tribunal Bill will be debated in this place this week. I thank the House of Representatives Standing Committee on Social Policy and Legal Affairs, chaired by my friend, the member for Macquarie, for its suggestions on how the bill can be improved, and to the stakeholders who have engaged constructively with my office on these issues. We're committed to getting this right.
Attorney-General's time has concluded.
I think in this situation, the protesters probably add to democracy because they're raising a legitimate issue and stopping a government pushing out propaganda saying how good they are, how they aren't corrupt, when the reality is they're trying to corrupt the AAT just as much as opposition did, or maybe not quite as much, but certainly trying to corrupt it. And like I said, put a link to the previous article I wrote on this issue and you can have a read of it yourself. Anyhow, Kangaroo Court of Australia's independent media. I publish a website and a YouTube channel, and I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself, so please support my Patreon account. Link for the Patreon account will be below this video on YouTube and also on my website. And please hit the like and subscribe button and share this video on social media. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.